Hi everyone, it's Kelly here from spiritualawakeningsigns.com, coming to you today with our new masterclass. So this is Awakening Your Higher Self, how to clear blocks, connect with your eternal inner wisdom, raise your consciousness and align with your true higher self. Now it sounds like something that is relatively easy to do, and it can be if you know how. So we're going to cover everything that you need to know to make sure there are no blocks in your way whatsoever in really connecting with this eternal higher aspect of yourself. It's such a huge benefit in your life and in your awakening too. So let's dive right into what we're going to cover. First of all, we're going to talk about the transcendent benefits of connecting with your higher self, because there's a lot of really good reasons that you're going to want to do this if you haven't started that journey already. Now the first one, and I think it's probably one of the most important ones, is answers. You finally get the answers that you've been looking for about your life, about your awakening. Things start to become clear, and the answers that you'll get will far surpass anything that you maybe could have been able to think of or come up with yourself, because they are unhindered by the ego. This is where ego is out of the way. You're making your choices and decisions from somewhere else, where the ego usually makes decisions based on fear and avoidance. So you start to really get answers. Things finally start to have conclusions and certainty about them, and that's a huge relief on your spiritual journey. I'm sure you guys will relate. The second is clarity in decision making. So this especially goes for life's most difficult, toughest decisions. So connecting with your higher self provides a lot of clarity in decision making, and it is going to help you to make choices that are really aligned with your true desires and values, rather than letting the ego guide the way through fear, which obviously is going to lead to a much more authentic and fulfilling life. The third transcendent benefit is reducing negative stress states. So because the higher self version of you is entirely centered, it's balanced, connecting with it regularly is going to make you more centered and balanced, and it's going to reduce or maybe even eradicate negative emotional states like anxiety or depression, for an example. It can help hugely and really just help you to find that equilibrium within. The fourth is inner peace and fulfillment. So by establishing that connection with your higher self, you're going to cultivate a really profound sense of inner peace and fulfillment, and that inner harmony is the very thing that radiates outward. That's the thing that kind of emanates off of your energy, and it's going to positively impact your relationships, all aspects of your life, your work, your career, and your overall well-being, while uplifting the energy of the planet and the people around you at the same time. So it's very light worker aligned. Number 5 is finally moving forward in your spiritual journey. So few people in the spiritual community will tell you that connecting with your higher self is the next piece of the puzzle. It is you could consider it a prerequisite milestone to attaining higher, more enlightened consciousness, and it's a module of awakening that can't be skipped. And that's the thing, most of us think it's something that'll happen naturally, we can just kind of wait and it'll find us. It might after a really long period of time, but it's something that you really have to acknowledge to take the next step in awakening. That's where you need to go. You need to become more conscious, you need to raise your vibration, and this is the way to do that. And in fact, if you fail to do this, to complete this compulsory lesson, it really is compulsory, it's going to keep you stuck, it's going to keep you stagnant, it's going to keep you unable to move forward from where you currently are. And if you can free yourself, you'll feel the joy moving forward. You'll feel that finally that forward motion. Things are changing, things are moving, things are shifting. And I can tell you from experience that when you've been stuck in a sort of plateau in your spiritual awakening or growth for quite some time, it's such a relief. It's like a breath of fresh air to finally feel like, oh my gosh, something's actually finally changing. It's quite a relief. Number 6 is considerably increased intuition. So this is where knowing starts to happen. This is where that starts to come in. You'll become much more aware of your spiritual or psychic and intuitive abilities, and you'll begin to integrate them into your ordinary everyday life. And that's what's important. You're integrating it as becoming part of your life. It's not separate from, I meditate, at certain times, and then the rest of my life is the 3D thing. They become one kind of integrated experience. It's an extraordinary experience, and it really can lift life considerably. Number 7, knowing and fulfilling your soul's purpose. Now, suddenly what happens when you start connecting with your higher self, there will be a moment that arrives, either early or maybe after a bit of practice, but there will be a point that comes where you understand the deeper reason of why you're really here. Your soul purpose becomes known to you, it becomes clear, and it's because you're so in tune with your higher self that there's nothing that's hidden from you anymore. It becomes easy to know what the next step is. Number 8 is emotional equilibrium. Now, I've kind of touched on this earlier, but your higher self really is the most stable and centered version of you and who you are, and it's because it's wisdom that's coupled with an unshakable anchoring to help you move through life's challenges, life's changes without emotionally spiraling or kind of losing that balance. It really helps you to just stay the course, and that can be hugely helpful. It's like holding onto a handrail when you're trying to move through the rougher parts of awakening. Number 9 is real authenticity. So connecting with your higher self starts to dissolve the array of different masks that we've had to wear in order to survive in our everyday life, and it's going to help you to really express true authenticity confidently and securely. And number 10, the last one, is it's raising consciousness. Of course, one of the most amazing sort of byproducts you would consider of connecting with your higher self is the natural but powerful consciousness shift that accompanies it. You're going to gain a deeper understanding and a heightened perspective that you won't have had before, and it's going to greatly further your spiritual awakening experience and progress. And even more than that, tapping into your higher self, it can enhance your creativity, your resilience, your overall well-being. It can empower you to navigate life's challenges with a bit more grace and certainly a lot more clarity. If you can imagine living every single day with a deeper sense of purpose, connection and joy, and you can harness the immense potential within, because there is immense potential there, then I think you're ready. You're ready to embark on this empowering journey of connecting to your higher self.